This video will basically be an overdose of truisms, but watch until the end. So guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm the Monio, the interdimensional demon who talks the most about X-Men on YouTube, and you're on my channel. And I was watching some videos on my Instagram that the algorithm recommended from X-Men 97, which is incredible and I'm loving it. Then I saw a video of the part where Cyclops fights the Executioner, and he says that hates the Cyclops race and accuses him of victimism. This line very well represents extremist and intolerant speeches, and it is no coincidence that this is said by a villain. But when you see the comments on this type of video, there are a very large number of people who say they are fans of X-Men, and who identify with this guy, saying that Executioner represents them, that he is right, and that minorities are left whining and victimizing themselves. That Disney had finally created a good character, a character who tells the truth. And how can there be people like that, who are fans of X-Men? The story of X-Men, it's basically minorities being oppressed, hated, and persecuted, while fighting against the precept. And even if you didn't know anything about X-Men, the series makes this very clear, especially in the scene where Magneto speaks at the UN. So how can these people didn't you understand that? How did they not understand that the Executioner is clearly a racist extremist? And the series is not at all subtle in addressing these themes, it's all very explicit. The cartoon is basically rubbing it in your face, that if you're this guy, you're not a good person, you're an evil person, and I wonder how there can be intolerant people who are fans of the X-Men? If they were in the world of X-Men, these people would be, at the very least, the militants who hold signs in the street, protesting against mutants. I even read people saying that the Executioner's speech was a criticism of the series for people who defend minorities. Seriously, until a few years ago, whenever someone who said they were a fan of X-Men showed themselves prejudiced, I always said that this person had probably never read an X-Men comic in their life, or had never had contact with them through the cartoons. But no, these people actually read it and watched it, and didn't understand it. And I really don't understand how this phenomenon happens, how you can like X-Men and see yourself in this guy. If you're watching this video, please comment what you think makes people come to this conclusion. I would really like to understand. But the Monio, the problem is not having minority themes in the animation. The problem is when people make forced changes to the characters, like Morph, who was changed and the fans didn't like it. Firstly, I didn't know that Morph had so many fans. He was created for this animation in the 90s, but let's be honest, the character wasn't exactly the most beloved by the public, and in this version of the new animation he is much cooler in my opinion. And the controversial part would be the confirmation that Morph does not have a defined gender. But my people, this is not quite predictable considering that Morph can completely change his body and be a man or a woman whenever he wants. Even the way he remains most of the time, with his face all white, is a way of representing this. And for those of you who think his original form is male, this is not Morph's original form. In fact, his original form is of a blob, a type of slime. Seriously, look at this image. Can you tell if this is male or female? So I believe this makes perfect sense, due to the nature and powers of the character, and even more so if you consider the entire proposal of the X-Men stories. But what about you? Do you know someone who didn't understand the message of X-Men? Leave it in the comments, and if you liked the video, subscribe to follow the next content. Until next time my people, demonic hugs.